Hello and welcome back to the BroBryceHealth channel right here on YouTube and on Twitch, and hopefully we are streaming live now. Had a little bit of problems with that, and let me get my music shut off here so that I can bring you guys up on our guest. We have a special guest today, and that is Dori from ColourfulKetoWithDori on Instagram. She also has a Facebook page and the whole shebang. Say hello, Dori.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the BroBryceHealth channel over here on Twitch and on YouTube. Let me make sure that we are still streaming live. Yep, we are. And so we should be getting this, this should be going out over Twitter and the Facebooks and all of that business. Should be spaminating the entire interwebs here momentarily. So today we have a really great topic, don't we, Dori?
Oh, we do, Bryce, we do. You guys get ready, because we're going to talk real life today.
Yeah, you know, Dori and I were chatting it up last week on Facebook, and we came up with this crazy idea. I have been wanting to do a live Skype thing so that people could, you know, call in and ask questions and stuff. Unfortunately, my wiring is sort of preventing me from doing that properly. But if you guys see the phone number down here, which is 775-319-6307, and you want to call, you're free to call, but I'm going to put you on speakerphone because the crazy wiring that I had imagined up just did not work. You know, God bless all the wonderful people in third world countries that sell stuff on Amazon, but this stuff didn't work. Anyway, I do have my new mixer, so we do have an upgrade in the audio, and we're going to have some more upgrades going on as long as we get the cabling that actually is required to do that. But in the meantime, we have a great topic for today, and I want to welcome. We have Vicky Chitwood, and we have Vengeance. Vengeance is our brave and wonderful moderator over on the YouTube side, and I want to thank him profusely for keeping the trolls at bay, because we have some like seriously comical, imaginative trolls out there. What was it? One week they tried to auction me off. I don't know. They had bidders, multiple bidders in the chat room bidding. It was amazing. It was epic. I mean, I admire their tenacity. Anyway, our topic for today is I'm too broke to eat healthy. And we came up with that while we were sitting around chatting, and we were talking about how that's always like the deal breaker. It's going to be too expensive to eat healthy, and when I was inflamed, when I was suffering from chronic pain, that was always one of the things that weighed in. I mean, isn't it just so cheap and easy just to eat crap?
It is, and I'm going to say this, Bryce. I was a single mother for years and years and years, and when my son was small, and I went to the grocery store, I literally heard that voice in my head that said, you can't afford to eat healthy. You buy the cheap junk because that's what you can afford, and just go home. Don't even look at the expensive food, don't look at the healthy food, you can't afford it. And move on, and that's what I did, unfortunately.
Dori, what is your story, and what is your you have a particular brand of keto type of material that you do. What is your thing?
That is my sugar-free sparkle vodka. And I'm going to say, Bryce, my game is the impossible. I love the things you thought you couldn't have. When you are looking in regular food feeds, because that's where I get my ideas. I won't lie, I sit like that. I look at all their food. But when I see their food, I don't want it. As soon as I see it, I think, oh, I want to make a version of that, honey. So, the sparkle vodka came from one that my fiance actually purchased for me, and it is sugar laden, and it's beautiful. I collected it, but I didn't drink it. And I was looking at it, and I thought, you know what? Why can't I make that? And so I made a quick version of it. I'll actually grab it out to show you. This is chat anyways, and it happens to be right here. So this is the sparkle stuff that he bought for me. And look how pretty it is. Like, it is really pretty. And I love it to collect it. But in all honesty, I knew when he brought it home, I wasn't going to drink it. But what I did do is I used purple food coloring and some flavor and some vodka and some sparkles, and I made a version of it. So that's, I guess, kind of in a nutshell, what I do. So if I see something, or when somebody posts, oh, I can't have this and I really want it, that sparks my imagination. And immediately I think, well, why couldn't we have that though? Let's find a version of that.
And you know, one of the things that I wanted to address was just like how much we think, you know, we're gonna suffer with this health because we're gonna be broke if we don't, right? We're just like, I have to just survive on top ramen and Bush's baked beans and Nally chili and you know, frozen vegetables because I can't do anything else. Hey, we have a call coming in. Caller. Let me get our caller up here and.
Perfect.
Hello, caller.
Hey, it's Benjamin 1296.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you, you might want to turn your mic sensitivity down. Like, in the video, it's pretty, it sounds like you're really getting up on the mic.
Okay.
Coming in a little fuzzy.
Okay, I'll bring that down some. How is that? Are you hearing it now? I'm trying to get this where it's on speaker, but it's not letting me put it on speaker.
Thank you for a sound check, by the way. Blowing kisses.
That's better now.
Alright, cool. So
It was kind of lagging. I just wanted to call and tell you that because I put in the comments that apparently you didn't read it.
I saw that, but I was trying not to interrupt. And
Okay.
alright, thank you, Vengeance.
Thank you.
Alright, we will chat with you in the chat here. So
Woo!
neglectful of what people say in the chat. Thank you, Vengeance, for that. I'm trying to reduce the feedback on the sound. So anyway, one of the things that we were talking about was like how like we have to suffer with this bad health because we can't afford to eat healthy, and it's just so much cheaper to just eat top ramen. Well, I think I proved that back in October and November when I ate nothing but pork loin that I got on sale at the local grocery store for 99 cents a pound. So I ate like 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of pork loin for 99 cents a pound. I ate that exclusively each day. So you really can't eat any cheaper than that. And my blood pressure went down and I lost a few pounds, and I lost, I mean, like my ring finger got loose again, and you know, there's obvious signs of less inflammation, and I was eating as cheap as you can get, and I was like taking this pork loin and air frying it. So like it was so the bomb, I'm telling you, it was just the bomb. You just season it up and stick it in the air fryer. It was just like you render down the fat. It's just Anyway, so what I'm saying is that it's on the cheap. You know, you want to do like keto, like you say in your channel, keto on the dime, right?
Yes, baby, keto on a dime. That's me.
Whole day
That's
food
me.
in 2018 only costs you $2. Then you're doing okay, because you can't eat that cheap on canned chili. You just can't, because you're gonna have to eat again that day. You're gonna have to eat again, and then you're gonna have to eat again, because you're gonna be hungry, because your insulin is elevated and you're gonna be hungry. You're gonna want to eat something else.
Yes.
So you eat 2 pounds of pork loin, and I'm telling you, you just ain't gonna be hungry. You just, I mean, you may get tired of pork loin, you may want something else, but you are not going to be getting sicker, and you're not going to be getting more unhealthy, and you're not going to be breaking the bank. So I want to ask you, this lady, I want to tell you guys are okay. So we're still getting some feedback from Dori, so I'm going to turn that down over here on the gain, and Dori, you go ahead and talk a little bit.
Okay, for sure. So I'm going to say, Bryce, that I'm going to tell people why it's cheaper for me and what changed at my house and how I save money on groceries. So I'm going to say I don't buy the chips and junk anymore. That's not cheap when you're buying it every single week. I buy cheaper cuts of meat now. So guess what? I don't have to spend extra on the extra lean ground beef, the extra lean pork. I can buy chicken legs and thighs as opposed to the more expensive, drier, less fat chicken breast. I buy the large pork loin as well that you had mentioned. And at my house, what I do is I cut off some pork chops, then I take a chunk to do a pulled pork, and then I cut up the rest into nice little strips to do a pork stir fry. So one pork loin can make a variety of meals, and for my house, an on-sale pork loin is about $20, and it makes 6 meals for my family of 4. So I'm going to say, where do you get 6 meals worth of meat for a family of 4 for $20 or less?
Holy dang! See, that's like the business that my mom used to do. You know, she'd make like a pound of ground beef go all week. You know, we'd be having like porcupine balls. We'd be having meatloaf flambe. We'd be having, I mean, I don't know what else my mom made out of that ground beef, but you know, we had stuff. We had a dish called glop. It was fairly
sounds appetizing, but tell me all about it.
It was fairly unidentifiable, and it may have been related to goulash and Spanish rice at the same time, but I'm not sure. But you know, the whole family ate the death out of that stuff, and you know, keto is no different, right? You find stuff on sale. I've been telling people, because I learned about it when I was doing the bacon experiment from Dan Quibel. He was telling everybody to check out the Flip app, which is FLIPP, the Flip app. It'll read all your local ads and find you specials at your local stores. And you just look up like whatever, you know, pork, or you look up, you know, beef. You're looking for, you know, sirloin, or, you know, T-bone, whatever. You're looking for whatever it is, that broccoli, and it'll just show you everything that's in the ad copy at your local stores. And it doesn't just search groceries, but it also searches like, you know, Home Depot, or, you know, whatever other stores. So you can find any kind of product, and you can find it on sale. And so you have these things like the Flip app, and I'm not sure if that, now I know, Dori, you're in Canada, right?
Yes, I'm in Canada.
So I know, because the way you say a boat. And
hey, a boot. What do you know what? People only make fun of how we say about. We don't actually say a boot, we say about.
Oh, okay.
Out and about.
All right. Especially when you're trying to prove us wrong.
I think British people say a boot.
I'm not sure. That
I don't know.
Anyway, she I'm not sure if the Flip app it includes Canada, but I would imagine it would. I mean, it's the internet. It's probably, they just check everything based on your GPS coordinates or whatever. So I would imagine that they're still going to find local ads as long as the stores are willing to cooperate. But you know, stuff like that, the internet has made it possible to catch up, you know, with all the coupon clipping and stuff that our moms used to do when we were kids. And we can really put all that troublesome business to death with what we have available to us on the internet. So it is possible to do healthy eating on a dime.
Oh, it is. So I'm going to tell you guys, if you don't mind, Bryce, what my number one thing that I do at my house to save money, because this one's going to blow your mind. Now, when you go to buy ketogenic products, I find where I live, the most expensive are the things like this, my almond flour. It's expensive. It's not available everywhere, and it's expensive. It costs a lot of money. So this is what I do instead, Bryce. I will go out and I will buy just my whole raw nuts. They're cheaper. This entire container cost me $19. I picked it up today, and then I grind it into my own pecan flour. Now, this is going to save me money to start with, but I'm going to tell you another secret, Bryce. It's going to save me carbs, too. Because how many carbs per serving are almonds, and how many are pecans? It's exactly half. So, anything that you come across with almond flour, you can swap out with a homemade pecan flour. It costs you less, and it's less carbs to boot.
For real, you can swap out pecan flour 1 for 1?
1 for 1 with any almond flour, any nut flour, any seed flour. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I make walnut flour, I make pecan, I make pumpkin seed flour, I make sunflower seed flour, and I have found they all swap out 1 for 1 with almond flour. Now, the only time you're different is if you're using coconut flour. And we all know coconut flour subs different anyways.
Yeah,
so if you're using coconut flour, it's like a 1 to 3. Like you would use a third of a cup of coconut flour to 1 cup of almond flour. So if you're swapping out for that, you want to make that adjustment. But honestly, if it's an almond flour recipe, you can use any nut or any seed flour you want, 1 for 1 swap.
I'm doing a little tweaking on your audio settings there.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, then I'll continue to chat, and I'll tell you how I discovered that. So one of the first recipes that I came across when I was new was the 1-minute muffin and or 90-second bread. And the recipe that I saw called for just almond flour. So I made it, and to be honest with you, it was less than lackluster. I was not happy, and I was not impressed, and I thought that didn't taste like real bread, and I did not enjoy that. And immediately I thought, if I were to change the flour in it, perhaps I would like it better. So I took the same 4 tablespoons of, and I just made a mix. So I used some walnut, a little bit of pecan, I threw in some hemp hearts, I threw in a little bit of flaxseed, and I made a bomb multigrain bread. And then I added a little bit of cracked pepper and oregano, and it was fantastic. And that was the moment I realized that I could swap 1 for 1. And I started doing that with 95% or more of my recipes. For example, I do fathead pizza dough with walnut flour or walnut meal instead of almond, and then it cuts the carbs in half.
Wow.
As opposed to the almond flour, because everybody loves fathead dough, but it's a lot of carbs per serving.
Now I take my almond flour. If you guys have seen over on my BroBryce Cooks channel, my fathead chalupa video, I have a video where I make fathead chalupas with fathead dough, and it's basically the same technique for me for making pizzas as it is for making the chalupas, because I make them in the little singles now. So I make them 4 pizzas, 4 little mini pizzas. That way everybody gets what they want on their pizza, and nobody complains that we made a pineapple pizza, and that's just blasphemy because nobody's supposed to put pineapple on a pizza.
Pineapple doesn't go on pizza, Bryce.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, says a Canadian. So that's fabulous.
Do you know what? I'll tell you what. You want to know what I put on pizza that doesn't go on pizza, Bryce? When I made my rainbow pizzas, I put radish on it.
Okay, that doesn't go on pizza. That's correct.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But I'm going to tell you this, because it was the first time I made the fathead pizza. And we have a family of 4. Now, usually when we ordered like pizza before in our old life, I would order 2 large pizzas, which is either a 14 or a 16-inch pizza to feed 4 adults. So when I was making the fathead pizza, I made a double batch, thinking that will give each adult 2 small 4-inch pizzas. And I made them. And you know what? Everybody only ate 1 pizza, and we had leftover pizza.
Filling.
So a 4-inch pizza filled an adult male. And my son is 20 years old.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, he's 2. He's 20. He's a full-grown man. And that was enough because it's more filling and it's more satisfying. And I'm going to tell you what. The rest of my family's not keto. But I made that pizza, and my guy was like, that's it. That's it. That's how we have pizza in this house now. Don't you bring that other garbage in the house. This is what pizza we eat now.
Yeah, it's super filling and it's delicious. It is off the hook. And so it's, you know, especially like my little pro tip is when you make fathead pizza, you put the toppings, like the meat toppings on the bottom, then the cheese, then the sauce on the top. And the reason why is because the sauce on the top makes it so that the crust doesn't get soggy, because the crust usually ends up soggy. But that's just my little pro tip. Anyway, I want to give you a moment to shamelessly plug your content, Dori.
Yes. Shamelessly. Okay. Well, we will start with, I have a public page on Facebook. So I will say that's the easiest place to find my things. It doesn't get bumped by comments. So it'll be in the order that I post them. And that is Colorful Keto with Dori. And if you guys are in the States, my colorful has a U because I'm Canadian. So that's the proper Canadian spelling of colorful. If you're wondering why there's a U in there, there was a great debate at my house on how to spell that officially. And then if you guys are looking for support, recipes, and or funnies, because we get silly in my support group, that is my Colorful Keto Buddy Dori on Facebook. And if you're on Instagram, if you use Instagram, that is at Colorful Keto with Dori, and then my YouTube channel of the same name, Colorful Keto with Dori. Because let's keep it simple and not make it hard for people to find me.
Vengeance says to make sure to tell you to keep swimming. I'm going to
say, if you can't remember my actual name, hashtag rainbow hair keto lady.
Vengeance says to tell Dori to keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
Oh, you baby, I will.
I know.
Just keep swimming. That's my favorite. And I don't know if you know this about me or not, but I speak whale.
I know that's got to be. I know that's the first time you've ever heard someone say that to you, right?
Oh, it totally is. It's very original.
Vicky was mentioning something about the book giveaway, which the book giveaway is coming up in a few minutes. We are going to be doing a book giveaway to any one of the people that's in the chat. So that'll be coming up in just a little while. Of course, we have these are the 3 books that we have today. I'm going to show you the last one last, but it's actually quite a treasure find, if you ask me. But we have this one, which is the New Atkins for a New You. This is by Dr. Eric Westman, MD, who is a bona fide keto guru. This guy, you could say he has followed in the footsteps of the great scientists of the era. And then we have Stephen Finney, MD, and Jeff Volek, PhD. All of these guys are absolute role models in the keto community. I will preface this as this is an Atkins Corporation book. It does push Atkins products, and I don't promote any kind of products per se. So I would say look at it through that lens. Know that the Atkins Corporation, as it stands in the modern sense, does tend to promote their products, and they refer to ketosis in this book as the Atkins advantage, and you should just call it ketosis so that people don't become scientifically illiterate. But I do want to say that this book has changed millions of people's lives, and including a great Timothy Noakes, who is our South African friend and doctor who is currently on trial with the South African health practitioners authorities to try to shut him up about keto. But he's kind of like tired of cutting people's limbs off when they're type 2 diabetic, so he would rather see people get better. My second book that I would like to give away is, and I will tell you guys how to get it in just a minute if you don't know. Some of you already know, but the Corinne Netzer's Complete Book of Food Counts. Now this is a thick book, and it is full of like all the crazy comprehensive information that you would want to get: calories, fats, protein, carbohydrate, saturated fat, total cholesterol, all those numbers that you would be concerned about with any kind of food. And I won't say whether or not this, I know this says 6th edition, newly revised and updated, but I don't know what newly means when you get it from a thrift store. I'm going to look at this here. It says January 2003. So we do have some years, but food is food, and a lot of the foods that are in here are currently on the market. Now, the last one that I have left right now, and I got to make more thrift store runs for these, but look at this. This is a 1972 copy of the original Dr. Atkins Diet Revolution book. Now, Dr. Atkins was a pioneer in the field of low-carb nutrition, and some of us would say that Atkins diet is not quite the modern ketogenic approach, because Atkins was, it seems, a little more focused on protein than on high fat. But I will say this: Dr. Atkins went against the tide. Dr. Atkins educated the masses on the falsehoods of saturated fat being evil, the falsehoods of total cholesterol meaning something on your lipid panel. And in this book, he has a ton of study data to back up what he's saying. So I will say this: this is a very pioneering book, and if you want to have what could be an extremely precious treasure for you in the future, this is a great book. So 1972, Dr. Atkins' this is the Diet Revolution, before the new Diet Revolution came out. And you'll see like dozens of those on the shelves in the thrift stores, but you don't see this ever. I've never seen this book on the shelves. And this is a hardcover. And it has recipes and meal plans and all different kinds of stories about different things that people's stories, people's testimonies, and questions and answers. Anyway, it's a great book. So in a little while, probably about 10 minutes or so, we're going to have that book giveaway. And I know Vicky was interested in one particular book. So Vicky, keep your eyes open and keep your ears peeled, and I will let you know when the cue to call is. Anyway, yeah. So with that being said, back to our topic. I wanted to go on and plug Dori some more, but the thing is, Dori has a special, particular brand of keto presentation that I find unique and fun and entertaining. And it's what's cool is that it's possible. I am not terribly entertaining, okay? I am very clinical. I'm very cut and dry. I'm sometimes blunt and at times horrifyingly abrasive. So I am not what I call entertainment. Dori, on the other hand, is not only informative and helpful and supportive and loving, but she's also super entertaining. It's almost like having, I want to say, you ever seen those like little toy gadgets that you get for your desktop, for your computer, that like, you know, you have a little dancing person there that like, or you know, remember Clip It on you know, Microsoft Office, you know, this little mascot that would come out and say, hey, I want to help you to fix your grammar problems. Okay, Dori is all that and a bag of chips, keto chips, like Parmesan chips, and she's she is the sparkle unicorn of the keto universe, and some would say that some of the ingredients that she uses are maybe not orthodox keto, and that's maybe true. And
that is true.
And she'll say that that's true. So, but if you want to have some fun, like making some cupcakes or some, I don't know, shamrock shake or some kind of crazy.
I'll show you what I made yesterday, and you're gonna giggle because so Nancy absconded with your chia pudding recipe, right? Where you
see.
soak
She
your
like
chia.
took it
First, tell
and ran.
people how you make it.
She makes it a little differently from how I do.
Yep. No, but you tell me how you make it.
I make it with a couple tablespoons of chia seed. I make it with 1 tablespoon, sometimes 2 tablespoons of flax seed. I use a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I use a packet of Truvia, and what else? There's 5 things. I know I have 5 things in it. So I have cinnamon, Truvia, flaxseed, chia seed, and I have my recipe card up over in the thing.
Oh, it's all good. That's close enough, honey. I just was making a silly point. So you guys made a version. Nancy switched it up, and it's a cooked version of chia pudding. So what I did is I took 2 mason jars, and I took a 1/2 cup of coconut cream, to which I added a 1/4 cup of water. Then I added 2 tablespoons of chia seed, 2 tablespoons of coconut, and some sweetener to taste. Then I set that in my fridge overnight. Now this beautiful purple that you see, I added 4, count them 4, and 2 blackberries to make it this beautiful purple. And then I split the white part that I had, and I made some blue, and I made some bright green, so that when I have my chia pudding, it is a unicorn rainbow with the sparkles on it chia pudding. Now this you serve cold, but you can also cook it if you prefer. Last night I served it cooked with nuts and pumpkin seeds and a little bit of cinnamon and water, and it's exactly what you make. It's just a fun version of it.
Vicky is asking if you could make that with almond milk.
Yes. Yes, you can. 100% almond milk. Now, I'm going to say if it's the drinking kind of almond milk, omit the water and just use 3/4 cup of almond milk. The reason why I add the water is because I use it. It's called coconut milk, but it's more the texture of a coconut cream, really. It's not the drinking kind of coconut milk. If you're using the drinking kind, don't add water. But it's because mine is thick like cream that I add the water to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's it. Like, it's ready when you get up in the morning, and you can eat it cold like that, or you can add whatever flavoring you want. And I'm going to tell you this, Bryce, the other day, because you mentioned some of my ingredients aren't keto, and most of those are food coloring and flavored extracts. Yeah. Because for me, I want the color. I want the flavor. And some people can't have those. So the other day, I did an awesome live where Nancy joined me. And this is what we did, Bryce. I made homemade flavored extract. So this is going to be a...
Uh-oh. I think we're frozen on the Skype side. One second here. Let's see if this comes back to life.
Rosemary infused in olive oil, and then for really awesome purple food coloring, and I infused some stevia leaf with vodka, so I can have my own stevia leaf sweetener. So when I make things, I always do what I like to call, Bryce, better, worse, best. Because there's always options for everybody. Now, for some people, they can have the food coloring, and that's the lesser option. But if they want it and it doesn't bother them, I say have it. If it doesn't inflame you, if it doesn't bother you, have it. But if you can't have it, there's always a better option. So if you want food coloring that's not bottled food coloring, stuff like unsweetened sugared beets, boiled down beet tops and collard greens for greens, berries for purples, and make your own organic food coloring.
I had a little problem, a little hiccup with the internet over here. Sorry that we kind of got interrupted there, but
oh, it's all good.
Carolyn says hi.
Hi.
Carolyn Theory, I think that is. I'm trying to get it on the screen there. Vengeance says ghost peppers are so hot. Yes, they are.
Yes.
I love them. They're like my favorite thing ever. Anyway, one of the things that's also unique about Dori's channel is that she dances and does karaoke a lot. Yes. She does a lot of singing and she does a lot of dancing. And to be honest, if you know the videos where she just cooks stuff, that's just stupid.
Boring, right? It's just dumb. So I'm going to tell you, Bryce, how the dancing came about. Because in the beginning, I didn't dance in any of my videos. I think I've got probably almost 2 whole months worth of videos with no dancing. How dumb, right? So someone messaged me right after a live. Like, I literally got off. I was making dinner. She messaged me right away. And she said, you know, I know you're eating, Dori, and I won't take up lots of your time, but I have a question. I'm just brand new to keto, and I converted my grandma's deep fried cauliflower recipe, and I would love for you to share that for me. So if you're interested, just message me back. And I'll tell you what, Bryce, I got on that Facebook calling and I called her because I thought, you know, if it means enough for you to reach out to me right now in this moment, that matters. And I honor that. So I voice called her on Facebook and we chatted. And I said, you know what, honey, that is yours to share. That is your grandma's recipe. And you converted that by yourself. Come join me live and make it with me. Mm-hmm. And she agreed to. And when she joined me, dude, she was so excited. She was jumping up and down and dancing in her kitchen. And in that moment, Bryce, it reminded me that I used to do that. So before my mother passed away, dancing around in the kitchen like an idiot was my thing. It was always my thing. And I actually didn't realize I had stopped doing it until I saw someone else do it and how happy it made her. And the very next day, I was like, that's it. You know what? My motto is let's dance instead. Let's dance instead, because we don't have to stress. We don't have to panic. We don't have to worry about the food we can't have. You know what we could do? We can eat cake and we can dance instead. How much more fun is that? Like, do you want to count numbers and stress all day? Or do you just want to enjoy good food and dance and laugh and have fun? Have fun.
I know my mom and dad used to dance in the kitchen all the time. You know, like, and I remember, you know, back then Happy Days was on, and I remember, yes. You know, one of the things that Joni would say is, my parents are still frisky, and I saw my parents dancing in the kitchen, and it made me say, hey, my parents are still frisky, you know. Yes. And my parents can't really dance anymore, but every once in a while they will get out the walkers and the canes and they will get out there and they will dance in the middle of the living room, listening to some song or something, and it's just wonderful to see that.
If you have not let loose and just danced like a crazy person in a long time, I encourage you to do it. If you're afraid people will see you, go lock yourself in your room, but do it for you. Like for 5 minutes, just put on some music, dance like nobody cares, dance like nobody's listening, nobody's watching, and see how invigorated you feel. Because at the end of every day, when I dance around like an idiot, I feel like the queen of the world. Like I feel like I conquered it all.
Carolyn says, I want to make a recipe with you too. Let's dance, lady.
Yay! I'm in. I am in. You message me on Facebook or Instagram and we will set it up, girl. I am in.
She's over on YouTube, so you might have to check your messages on YouTube too. So she's over on YouTube. And so before we do our book giveaway, I want to just let everybody know to follow Colorful Keto with Dori on Instagram. And if you're even if you're using a Windows PC, just a pro tip, me to you, if you're using a Windows PC and you're trying to use Instagram in the browser, you're not going to see live feeds in the browser. So you will have to put the Instagram app on your Windows PC to see the live chats. Otherwise, you won't see them. So that's a little pro tip if you are if you're on a Windows PC. Or I think a Mac has an Instagram app as well, but the Windows App Store does have the Instagram app, and then you can see the live streams, because it doesn't matter how hard you search when you are using your browser, you will not see the live streams. So we're gonna do a book giveaway real quick. So just a recap for all of y'all. Okay, we have 3 books, and I know Vicky's listening. So 3 books. We have the Complete Book of Food Counts. That's by Corinne Nitzer, and that is the book that has all the wonderful fat grams, protein grams, carbohydrate grams, cholesterol, whatever, all of that. We have the New Atkins for New You by Dr. Eric Westman, Stephen Finney, and Jeff Volek. And that is the diet book. That is not the workbook. We have already sent out all the books previous, so Todd, you should be receiving your workbook that you won last week. And well, I'm gonna fall over on my stool here. Dr. Atkins, this is the special one, the 1972 Dr. Atkins Diet Revolution. This is the original Atkins book. This is the original low carb diet book. And even he in 1972 said, don't really look at this as a diet, look at this as a life change. This is the original low carb book. And hey, Sherry is on Twitch just for this. I can't believe it.
Hey, Sherry.
Welcome. Great to see you, Sherry. Sherry just started keto a few weeks ago. So if any of you are interested in one of these books, hey, you just make sure you say, hey, and there it is right there. Vicky knows the deal. All you have to do is say you're interested in the book, and you get it, and I will mail it to you free of charge. So Vicky, I want you to track me down on Facebook or even on YouTube. You could send me a private message and send me your address or a P.O. box, I don't care, and I will mail this to you inside of the United States free of charge. And I'm going to be like, free of charge, media mail, slow boat. All the way to your house on a pony. Anyway.
On a pony!
Right. So
who doesn't want a pony? You don't get to keep the pony. Not even if you ask really nice. They won't let you keep the pony. I asked last time. They said no.
No. Sherry says she is 3 weeks in to keto. Okay. She's down 15 pounds. Oh, lady! Over 2 inches lost as well. So I want to congratulate Sherry for being a trooper, and I want to also send out a video shout out to her husband Andy, and tell Andy to call me, because Andy, you really need to do some keto, man. I'm gonna get you someday, man. If the diabetes doesn't get you, Brother Bryce is gonna get you. Okay. So I'm here for you, and I will help you in any way that I can, and counsel you in the Lord, in the way of keto. So, reach. Yeah.
And I will testify.
I will. And you know what's great is that I met Andy at church in a Bible study. Okay.
See?
And it's like this is like Bible memorization stuff, and so he is like down with like learning and memorizing doctrine and stuff. So I'm gonna get him with some keto doctrine, and that's what we're gonna do. Anyway, we are in the final 11 minutes of this wonderful keto Q&A chat. Now, if you guys have any questions for Dori or myself, I wish that you would just spew those out right here in the chat, and we'll do some rapid fire Q&A during the last 10 minutes of this wonderful weekend chat. And for those of you that have experienced some kind of glitches, I am doing a local recording of this, so the local recording should be a little higher quality, and I will put that over on YouTube and on Twitch, so all of you should be able to see the higher quality version of this if it's glitchy in the live stream. But thank you very much for bearing with us while we troubleshoot all of this as well. And Dori sends you kisses. Now, if you're watching this on Facebook, please share this link all over the place, all over the groups, because keto can be clinical. Dori over here has dubbed me the science officer. Because I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm just sort of cut and dry. I'm the guy that says, that's not keto, sorry. And Dori's the person that says, Bryce, but you must have fun. You must have fun.
Not because of that, dude, but because when it comes right down to it, I'm not a science girl. I am a Cancer on the cusp of Leo. I am passion. I am fun. I am fury. And when people come at me with their logic, I'm like, oh, logic. Yeah. So I don't like that stuff. Have fun with that, sunshine and rainbows. And usually sciencey people get really twitchy around me, and they cannot handle me. So Bryce, I love you because you put up with me. And because you give me all of your sciencey wisdom. Because if I need to know what's in something, you're who I call. And when somebody tells me, you know, that food coloring is bad for me, and I'm like, Bryce, these ingredients are okay. And you're like, so, you know, that's like an antifreeze, right? And I'm like, no. No, not, actually.
Yeah, propylene glycol.
See?
Yep.
But you know what? I'm going to say what? How I ate food coloring my whole life. Like, my whole life, my mom put that in everything.
Okay,
like,
so I got to tell you a story. When I was a kid, and while we're waiting for questions to come up here, and Sherry says she's gonna relay my shout out to my call out to Andy. But I want to tell you a little story. When we were kids, we used to every Christmas, my mom would bake cookies, not just for eating. She would bake some for eating, but to decorate the tree with, right? So yes, we would decorate the Christmas tree with cookies. And every once in a while, I saw that, Vicky. Thank you for the PM. So I have your address now. Every once in a while, we would have gingerbread, but every time we would make these sugar cookies, and we had cookie cutters of Christmas trees and snowmans and reindeers and Santas and stuff. And I know my plurals are completely grammatically bastardized. But this
is also why I love you.
We had little frostings, and my mom would make these different, like she made frostings, and we put food coloring in them, and we frosted these things, and then we put little sprinkles of different colors, and we had the little chrome ones. Okay, we had the silver ones and the gold ones. And now mind you, okay, today there are certain things that just, we don't put in food products. I know there's still a lot of junk that's in food products, but back then there was like zero regulation on what would make something chrome. Okay. Yes. So you can look back at like 1977 and 1978. You could say confidently that whatever it was that was making that stuff chrome, it weren't food. And
No.
and it was unquestionably something that was questionable at the very least. So
yes, most certainly questionable.
At least today, we have things that are, for the most part, made from edible things.
Mostly. So I'm going to tell you, Bryce, when I went hunting for sparkle, because clearly, hello, sparkle lady, I realized that guess what? All of those things are almost all pure sugar. So I went hunting on my favorite good old internet, and I found a recipe to make my own sugar-free sparkles. So these awesome sparkles, and you can see how shiny they are, these are just gelatin and food coloring, and I made them at home.
Nice. See,
Yes.
you can make these sparkly things at home, and gelatin is absolutely food. So
Yes. I'm going to tell you a funny when it comes to nothing's impossible. Because when I first posted my recipe for the sparkles, one of my girlfriends messaged me, and her son is food dye intolerant. And she commented, "Oh my God, Dori, that's so awesome. Now, if only you could make them without color." So look at what I did for her little man. I made him snowflake sparkles that don't have any color in them, but they still look like fun snowflakes, and he can still have sparkles on his food too.
nice. Vengeance says, Dori, where did you get the teleport machine?
The teleport machine. Is he talking about this? This is my funky lights, and my lights are my signature for my recipes, for my lives, minus like my one with the doctor because they're serious. These are my lights. So pre my shows, I turn on my lights and I turn on something dancey, and pardon the old school, I get all jiggy with it.
Yeah, I love the disco lights. It's a
And
great
then
touch.
I cook, or spilt that all over myself. That was awesome. And you know why that's great? Because I go live with Dr. Ken in 3 minutes.
You know why that's particularly spectacular for my live stream is because one of the things that I do on the regular in my live cooking things is I spill and I splatter, and I have had some massive like blender catastrophes on camera that are just that is just it's one of the quirky fun things that I love about my my programs.
The other day, I spilt the vodka I was making, and I was like, you know what? It wouldn't be a show with Dori if I didn't spill something for you guys. And I'm going to get up on the stool so you can see this, because I look like I peed in my pants now.
Nice.
Right?
Great.
How fantastic is that? Don't stand up when you talk to Dr. Ken, Dori. Don't stand up.
That's what happens when you get on stream with Bryce. He scares the pee out of you.
Right? I peed myself.
Jackson's 45 says, "Hello, Bryce. I'm back from record shopping. Also, song of the day." Now, Jackson is our guy for bringing up songs that maybe we haven't heard of in a while. And he says the song of the day is "Steady" by Jules Shear, 1985. So if any of you have, we don't do that on the stream here, but any of you have a moment to go look that up on YouTube or on Spotify or Pandora, check it out. "Steady" by Jules Shear. So thank you, Jackson, for the song of the day. And as we're nearing the end of the broadcast here, we have about 2 minutes left, and I wanted to especially thank Vengeance Falls for helping us, Vengeance and Vicky especially, for helping us sound check, helping us get the problems sort of worked out, and for Vengeance moderating the YouTube channel and keeping the trolls at bay. Always appreciate you being our sergeant on patrol there, and also for calling in and letting us know how urgent it was that we fix the sound. Yes. I want to thank Dori especially for coming on live with me. Next week, we are going to have Kat Dugas of Keto on the show, and we're going to find some very interesting things to talk about. I want to have her share some of her story. And hey, that's the alarm saying it's 5 o'clock, y'all. And thank you, Ricky, for winning a book Fantastic. You get the new Atkins for new you. Thank you, Jackson, for the song of the day. Thank you, Sherry, for tuning in over on Twitch. I appreciate you very much and appreciate the update. These chats that we do are also for check-ins as well. So I appreciate that you guys have come in, asked questions, given us feedback, helped us troubleshoot this crazy new technology that we're playing with. And I will see you guys next week. And Dori, I love you very much. I appreciate you, and thank you for coming on with me and coming up with this crazy idea to talk about being too broke to eat healthy. Imagine that.
Yes.
So we're going to check out with some music again from the great Glenn Case in Seattle, Washington, or actually Northern Washington. I think he's in Seattle. All right. Anyway, y'all. We'll see you next week. Have a great day. Have a great Sunday. And be sure to join Dori over there on Facebook with Dr. Ken Berry, and on Instagram, Colorful Keto with Dori. She'll be on there with Dr. Ken Berry talking about keto in about a minute. Bye.
Yes, right now I'm heading out. Bye, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
Okay.